The National Assembly. And as you can see on your screen, the Deputy Speaker election vote counting has concluded. But let us take you back to the House.
I wish now to ask the returning officer to give me the results. Thank you. Honorable members, the report on the results of the counting of votes for the position of the Deputy Speaker are as follows. Total number of ballot papers issued were 339. 339. Total number of ballot papers counted, 338. The total number of invalid ballot papers were 12, meaning that there were 11 that were spoiled, and there was one which had been issued, and yet it was actually stamped on both sides, and it was therefore not used. I now want to announce who got how many votes. Honorable V. Zungula, 54 votes. Thank you. Honorable Annelie Lothriet, 273 votes. Thank you. On behalf of all present here, I wish to congratulate you on your election, Honorable Lothriet, on your election as Deputy Speaker. You now have the opportunity of addressing the House for a few minutes as an expression of your honor on being elected. You can utilize the podium.
ANC stand. We are standing.
Order, honorable members.
2016.
Order. Can we now allow the Deputy Speaker to give her remarks?
Honorable Speaker, Chief Justice, Mr. President, honorable members and guests. Madam Speaker, I would firstly want to congratulate you on your election. I can assure you of my support, and I wish you strength, courage, and wisdom. This is a tremendous honor and privilege, as well as a great responsibility that has been bestowed on me. This is a position that I do not take lightly, and I fully understand the trust that has been placed in me. I undertake to fulfill my duties with care, commitment, and humility, and to be fair and just, and to do all in my power to do justice to this position. I would like to thank you for your trust that you have placed in me, and I undertake that I will do everything not to disappoint you, and that we will make this seventh Parliament the best Parliament ever, and that we will work for the interest of the people of this country. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam.
Honourable Speaker, it's Honourable
Sorry?
Telezi here. I wanted to check whether the Speaker can use her discretion to also announce the results of KwaZulu-Natal.
Order, Honorable Sabisa. May I ask the returning officers just to move the ballot boxes a bit so that I can see members at the back? Well, Honorable Hlabisa, I would have loved to do so, but
No, it
for
was
all the
Buthelezi.
provinces that have already undertaken their elections, these results are very interesting overall. Honorable members, we have concluded the proceedings for the election of the Deputy Speaker of the House. In consultation with our religious leaders, as it is always the norm, that after the Deputy Speaker has been elected, they usually bless the House. We have asked them to do so after the election of the President. I will now ask the Chief Justice to come and proceed.
Speaker.
Honorable Shibambo?
Speaker.
Yes, I can hear.
No, thank you very much. We have sent you a letter using Rule 119 of the National Assembly rules to request that you should invoke Section 8(9), subsection 1 of South Africa's Constitution to invoke the impeachment process in relation to the report which was tabled here in the National Assembly in relation of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa's involvement in the Phala case. So we have sent you that letter that is an immediate issue of focus and error of focus, and a motion that should be invoked as per Rule 119 of the National Assembly rules, that the immediate urgent motion that we must attend to should be the impeachment process of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa for the case which was established to have prima facie basis by a panel which was led by a former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court. We have also delivered the hard copy letters to you now, and the Deputy Speaker of the Democratic Alliance, so that you can pay attention to it as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Shibambo.
Can you please acknowledge the receipt of the letter? Yes.
Honorable Shibambo, thank you very much. Your representative has just delivered an envelope indicating that this is the letter sent to me. I'm not sure whether the Deputy Speaker has received such a letter. However, this matter will need to be deliberated upon. As you know, that there was a process that was undertaken by the 6th administration, and that matter was concluded as such. And therefore, in this instance, Once we have considered your letter, we will give you the response on how the 7th administration would like to respond to this matter. For now, we will proceed with the election of the President of the Republic of South Africa. Chief Justice.
Yes.
Honorable members, we are now at the stage where we have to deal with the election of President. There will now be an opportunity for nominations for President of the Republic of South Africa. Are there any nominations? Honorable member here.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. My name is Mdumiseni Ntuli, the Chief Whip of the African National Congress, and I hereby nominate Honorable Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa as the President of the Republic of South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there a seconder? Is there a seconder? Somebody must just raise the hand.
DA.
Who in the honorable member there? Okay. Mr. Singh?
It will be Honorable Hlabisa, Chief Justice.
Or Honorable Hlabisa?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. I am Velenkosini Hlabisa and hereby second the name of Honorable Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa to be the President of the Republic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Although the nominee will be required to signify in writing whether he accepts or not, I would like to find out at this stage whether the nominee accepts the nomination. I think he's reluctant.
Chief Justice, I do accept the nomination with pleasure.
Thank you very much. Are there other nominations?
Yes, Chief Justice. Right at the back.
Yes.
Must I stand up?
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Oh,
hang on 1 second.
I'll pick up the mic. Okay, fine.
This nomination complies with the requirements and is valid. Are there other nominations?
Yes, Chief Justice, I'm already on the floor.
Please go ahead.
I thought my nomination was making you nervous a bit. I, Ngabayomzi Lawrence Saziso Kwangwa, ichawe lezulu zigodlwana zemazi endala zingalala endleleni kunyembelekile, hereby nominate Julius Silo Malema as candidate for election as President of the Republic of South Africa. I thank you very much.
Order, 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 order. Thank you. Is there a seconder for that nomination?
Chief Justice.
Yes.
I, Vuyo Lwethu Zungula, uDosini, uNcwina, uNoyila, uQabashe, into engathi inkosi emntwini ngoba inkosi ngokwayo, I second the nomination.
Thank you very much. Although the nominee will be required to signify in writing if he accepts the nomination, I would like to know at this stage whether the nominee accepts the nomination.
I, Julius Sello Malema, accept the nomination.
Thank you. Thank you.
Josie, stand up. Mary Julius also decline.
Josie ML.
We will wait for the form. The nomination of the second nominee for the position of President of the Republic of South Africa complies with the requirements and it is valid. Yeah, okay. I now wish to announce that the candidates that have been properly nominated for the position of President of the Republic of South Africa are Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa and Mr. Julius Silo Malema. Yes. Is there any further nomination? There is none. Since more than one candidate has been nominated, a secret ballot will take place in terms of Item 6 of Part A of Schedule 3 of the Constitution. I now suspend proceedings to allow the returning officer to prepare ballot papers. We shall resume proceedings when the bells are rung. The proceedings are suspended.
Julius, Ndlozi did not stand up when you were nominated. Fire him.
Please, you must talk
Commander-in-Chief. Commander-in-Chief.
Hello there, guys. So basically, it is a waiting game at the moment. As I said before, unfortunately, I'm not able to really go much into this, be part of the stream due to flu. But we have Julius Malema contesting Cyril Ramaphosa for the president. Already it has happened since this morning where the EFF has been working with the Progressive Caucus to fight the ANC. And they haven't won. They've tried 2 times already. They've failed. But what was interesting is that Flo Chivambo raised a point of order saying that we want to impeach Ramaphosa. So they're basically saying that as much as you want to name him the president, just know that we have written a letter to impeach him. And of course, the main point is to make sure that Ramaphosa doesn't become the president of, or if he becomes the president, he doesn't become the president for long. The issue of putting Julius as a nominee, we all know it's not going to pass, but at least they are trying something. They're trying to see if they can challenge the ANC, and it's possible that something can happen out of the blue. But we've been here since 10 a.m. and they are about to select the president. It's going to be very interesting to see how the votes are going to be. Of course, we know the ANC will definitely win, as since this morning, we have seen the deputy speaker has been given to the DA. So now it's evident that the coalition of DA and the ANC is untouchable, since everything has been well planned. Everyone is part of the picture. I actually listened to an interview by an IFP, one of the IFP leaders. They were questioning him about Julius Malema, because Julius said some things about IFP. And that guy was very angry, saying that Julius can go to hell. And the fact that they also want to know where he gets the money, because Julius accused them of getting money from the Oppenheimers. So you can basically see that there's no longer a relationship. It's more about ANC-DA and its partners, the EFF, UDM, ATM, UAT, and their partners on the side. So it's going to be very interesting. And by the way, MK has lost in KZN. I've said it before that I don't see MK winning, and they lost. So now it looks like the ANC is working with the DA to make sure that anything that is on offer doesn't go to the opposition. It goes to the EFF, it goes to the ANC, and it goes to the DA. So now it's going to be very interesting to see what is going to be the end in terms of Ramaphosa and Julius Malema. I think a lot of people will be voting for Ramaphosa, but you know, there should be just a few who will be voting for Julius, so that we can really see if the ANC is working on a party line, or at the moment they're focusing on the fact that some people are still angry or feeling that Ramaphosa is selling the ANC to the highest bidder, which is the DA. So it might take some time, guys, for them to prepare for the votes. probably around 30 to 40 minutes until they get those papers together, and then they will start selecting the people. They will start voting. So we probably have to wait for some time until it starts. I will be here watching also. So hopefully you guys, if those who are taking a break, they can come back after 30 to 40 minutes, because it is going to be a long night. I think the election would probably end. We'll get the results by 10, yeah, around 10 o'clock. That's when we'll know who is the president. Faith, I'm not sure what point you raise in there, but the question would be, who will be the president? I've just made a poll. I just want to see what you guys think in terms of who will be the president between Ramaphosa and Malema when these guys vote. Of course, there are people who would be answering based on who they like, but I think it's more of, when you look at it, who is going to win between the two, since the announcement is probably going to take place around 10 p.m., 10, half past 11, somewhere there. It takes a long time. Imagine we are having the third vote, the third election since 9 a.m. So it shows that whatever procedure they are implementing, it doesn't work. I would have thought they would have decided to vote for a speaker and deputy at the same time instead of wasting so much time. I mean, they have been here for such a long time, and we're still waiting to see what is going on. Just to check on the poll, 78 people voted. Ramaphosa is standing at 43. Julius is standing at 58. So people believe that Malema can take this. Problem is they captured Madalas. I see there is the youngest person in parliament at the moment is coming from the Patriotic Alliance, and she is 20 years. So then the question of a Madala and a young person, what is the accepted age to probably go to parliament? Because I feel like at 20 years, you're probably still in school. If you are not in school, maybe you're just done with school, and school talking about tertiary. And you don't have a lot of knowledge in terms of how to go by and how to be part of politics. So I saw a 20-year participating. When the question of Madalas arise, sometimes you might wonder, what is the perfect age to take part in, not only in politics, but to be a member of parliament? Anyway, guys, the polls are favoring Julius at 119 votes. Ramaphosa getting 39. Now he's on 40. And Julius Malema on 60. Maybe Parliament should listen to us and use our votes, so that by the votes of daily updates, Malema would be the president of South Africa. We would be looking at Malema as the president. Certified Hank says Malema for president. So this is it, guys. Floyd says we are impeaching you, president. And I see their approach. It's no longer about forcing and fighting. It's more of we are telling you what we want to do, and we want you to take note of it. So it's not like they might win it, but at least they are making a statement, which the ANC has recruited their bouncer. The new bouncer of the ANC is the DA. If you want to go to Ramaphosa, go and meet John Steenhuisen first. Hey, you mad? What do you mean, Smith? You're probably angry at the point I'm speaking about the DA. But yeah, basically, that's what's happening currently with the the ANCDA. The relationship means Ramaphosa won't be bothered by anyone because someone will come to defend him. The DA will defend Ramaphosa regardless. They just taught Zuma politics. Zuma probably wasted time by saying that I am not negotiating. I will challenge for the IEC for those results. And that time wasted was given to the oppositions. I saw a meeting of Zuma and the NFP leader, and I thought maybe it is too late. He could have done that way too soon. Maybe things would have been different, but as of now, MK party is nowhere to be seen. They are not even in parliament today, but they were at the legislatures. And unfortunately, it's bad news for the MK party. Jacob Zuma will be addressing the media on Sunday. So by addressing the media, he probably wants to make his point heard, but probably too little too late. 188 people voted. Malema is the president of South Africa. At this point, he would be the president if only the same way people love Julius, they had voted for him in numbers during the elections. As I said, guys, struggling with flu, and also it's going to take approximately 30 to 40 minutes before they come back to vote. The people that have been voted is Julius and Matamela. Floyd says, we want to let Cyril know and Parliament know that we want to impeach President Ramaphosa. So it's a known fact that they've sent a letter and their main aim is to impeach. Now, are they trying too hard? I think so, because at this point, the bouncer of the ANC, which is the DA, is never going to allow anything. The bouncer of ANC has a deputy speaker. So the ANC was too clever to know that for us to be able to win, let us get a strong bouncer in John Steenhuisen. Now, John is not playing games. He's going to make sure that whatever motion that is brought by the EFF or any other opposition is not going to pass. But now what we are waiting for is to see the time when MK gets to be sworn in Parliament, because sooner they have to be. How is it going to be? We're standing at 223 votes. Malema is still the president. Julius is currently the president at 63%. So the people love Julius. But is he going to win? I think he's probably going to get between 43 to 59 votes. That's what he's going to get. You can't break that wall of China called ANC and DA. They are calling the relationship a DNC. So you can't break that wall. And the DA is so happy that finally we are taking part in Parliament. Finally, we got a chance through the ANC. That is why Jacob Zuma was pushing for a recount or a re-election, because people felt like this was planned. It was predetermined to get ANC and DA working together. Unfortunately, what we have as the people of South Africa is to wait until 2029 so that we can say they robbed so-and-so. And maybe people can vote better. As of now, there is no need for people to even say that recount, re-election, it is over. The sooner MK comes to the party and be sworn in by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, the better. so that they can play a role. We wanted to see them in parliament so that they can have their point registered, but unfortunately, MK Party was focusing on KZN, and what a shame. ANC was not playing any. They were not playing games. They made sure that Zuma doesn't get what he wants. Now Zuma says, "I'm going to spill the beans on Sunday." You are refusing to give me to award me the KZN since I got 40%. I will talk on Sunday. But unfortunately, the ANC recruited a good bouncer. So whether MK Party speaks or Zuma speaks on Sunday, I think what they have to do is just to admit that we got what we got and let us form part of parliament. That is the only thing they can do. This thing of delaying and wanting to speak about rigging and whatnot, it won't help. The best thing MK Party can do is just to be part of parliament so that they can hold whoever they want to hold accountable. Mev, I voted MK and EFF to parliament. I'm so disappointed they're not there. Smith, Zuma ruined Malema because he didn't want to go on pension, old guy. Magdalene Rampele Juju. So I think EFF was looking maybe to work together hand in hand with the MK, but unfortunately MK has their own agenda. At 278, Julius is still the favored person to be the president. And Matamela is at 38. But we know who's the real winner. Ramaphosa is happy that he has created an unshaken wall of China and had a relationship with the DA. The DA has been looking for this opportunity for so many years. They've been praying day in, day out. They were not eating. I'm sure they didn't eat the whole of elections because they were praying that they get what they got, over 20%, and reduces the ANC. Now that it is done, what remains for them is to say that we are sharing power, we are working with the ANC, then we are unshakable because the rest of the parties, if they want to go through, if they want to reach the ANC, they have to go through us. The ANC cannot make decisions without involving the DA. I mean, there is IFP in the picture, but the bigger man would be the ANC and the DA. I'm just trying to locate that clip of. I'm just gonna play it for you. That clip of IFP leader speaking about Julius Malema, and you can see that there's no longer love. The people are hurtful, and okay, I've got it. Just a second, guys. I just want to play this clip. Okay, actually, I'm on it at the moment. I was just.
In principle, you agree with the proposal to form a government of national unity. You say it's in the best interest of South Africa. Some have criticized you, including the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters. He has labeled you a project of the Oppenheimers.
Julius can go and jump off the nearest cliff, actually. He's a danger to society. He's a danger to our democracy. He's a risk to the peace and stability we're trying to build. He thrives on stoking violence. And he's somebody that does not have the collective interests of this country at heart. This man has been rejected by the electorate. From 44 seats, he's moved to 39. In KwaZulu-Natal, he moved from 8 to 2. Yet he thinks he's got the leverage to come out and demand things of everybody in a way which is not constructive. The electorate has forced us onto the table, but is pushing people away from the table. He then goes on to attack the president of the IFP, an honorable man. The contrary, of course, to this reality is that Julius himself is a dishonorable man. He comes and calls us an Oppenheimer party just because we receive funding from the Oppenheimers, something that we declared, by the way, because we've got nothing to hide. He has not declared his things. He must tell us about the money he gets from the tobacco smuggling that is taking place in this country. So quite frankly, we've got no care or concern about what he says, what he does, and who he talks to.
there you have it. What's his name again? I forgot his name, man. I know this guy, but I forgot his name. Anyway, there you have it. That is what he's saying about Julius Malema. Just a disclaimer: I'm suffering from flu, guys. Probably my voice is bad, but yes, that's what he was saying about Julius. I'm playing this clip because I just want to um, show you guys that since the coalition of DA, ANC, IFP, NFP, people now are comfortable because they know that we have finally arrived, and the EFF, shame, as much as they want to play a role, it is too little, too late. I heard Julius saying, if the ANC doesn't reinstate Dunga by the end of the night, we are recalling all our members, all our MMCs. He says we are calling all our MMCs, and we are not going to tolerate the ANC doing as they like. So we will see if the president of the EFF goes on with that thing of calling all the MMC, and let them know that they are no longer going to be part of the relationship of ANC. But to be honest, oh, thank you, Jongi Kaya. Actually, I was looking for that word. I like how Hlengwa responded to Malema. Oh, I had forgotten him. And okay, yeah, no, thank you. It's Hlengwa. Muswening IFP got 5%. Were they not rejected by the people? His emotions are speaking, not facts. Well, since they are forming part of the coalition, the guy is comfortable. He knows that from now on for them is to just be part of government. So the EFF has been loud every time as the opposition. Now it's going to be very difficult to see them as an opposition, but having no one to back them up. If you look at the rest of the parties, those parties are not even more than 2% that are working with. They're not even more than 4%. Let's just put it on 4. Those that are backing the EFF. Patriotic Alliance said, we are going to be working, we are going to be voting for Cyril Ramaphosa. So you know that it is just small numbers for the EFF. They have no one on their side. The rest of them are just smaller parties. They are happy to be part of the game. They are happy to work with the EFF, but unfortunately, it is not looking good for the EFF. But the best thing they can do is to put more power and pressure on ANC and DA and just pray that they fail, because if ANC and DA are successful in running the country, it is going to be very difficult for people to look at DA and say we are not voting for them. The DA is the biggest party that is going to benefit from this relationship. If ANC fails, the DA can blame it on the ANC. If their relationship works and government and South Africa is changed a bit in terms of service delivery, DA is going to get all the glory. One thing the ANC should have looked at is the fact that what's going to happen once the success is placed there on board. Who is going to take all the glory? That is the DA. It doesn't matter whether the ANC is doing good or what. The people are looking at the DA. You do good, DA. You do bad, ANC. At the end of the day, 2029, ANC might lose more votes. This might actually cost them a lot and work in the favor of the DA. That's something they should have looked at. We don't know what happened behind closed door when they were communicating and having relationships, discussion with EFF and MK. We don't know what happened. But the fact that they are not working together means something. led to them not choosing to work with each other. But the DA, knowing very well that if they don't give ANC a lot of demands, and then they let ANC have all the power, they are the ones who are going to get praised for the victory. But the ANC will get rejected because of the failure of a coalition. 2029 is going to be a big year. As we said, 2024 will be big. It is actually huge because we finally see ANC below 50% deciding to form a coalition. It is not a government of national unity. It is a coalition with the DA. And by forming that, they probably did not take a lot into consideration. But the people of South Africa are looking at the ANC. And whatever failure that will come, it's on them. Mabena says the country is gone and the EFF is trying. Soon we will regret. What did Ramaphosa do for the country? The only thing they want is power. For what, we don't know. So yes, guys, we probably have about 15 minutes, if not 10, to go and see the voting. The reason we are being delayed in terms of seeing the voting is because, excuse me. The reason we are being delayed is because of the fact that they need to print the papers. Actually, Chief Justice said that we cannot print them beforehand because it will be like we are predetermining the results. So what they do is that once nomination is done, they go and print papers. Remember, they are printing for like 300 and 200 and something, 200, 300 there, excluding the 58 members. I think in total there are 400. So they are printing around 340 something. So now it takes time. They have to print those 300 papers, and now they have to go and vote. After voting, they have to go and count all those papers. They have to come back and now announce. We started at 10 a.m. It is 9 p.m. So we are probably going to finish by the early mornings, by the early morning of Saturday. That's how important this day is. But as important as it is, 439 votes. Okay, we are back, guys. I'll shut up.
It is brought to you by Parliament TV on channel DSTV 408. And as you can see on the screen once again, the voting booths have been placed on the floor, and you can see the two ballot papers, which Tebo, I think, before the Chief Justice proceeds with today's business, he will be asking the presiding officers there to show that there is nothing in the boxes, it's empty. We've seen that being done with the nomination of the Speaker, nomination of the Deputy Speaker. Now we expect to see it being done with the nomination of the President as well.
And of course, now we can expect that with this process that members will be called back into the chamber. They will cast their vote for their preferred candidate. And then after these votes have been concluded, proceedings will be suspended to count the votes. Of course, throughout the day, we have said that this has been an eventful day, and throughout the day, member representatives, party representatives rather, have been allowed to stay in for the counting of votes.
And we have a very democratic day where we've seen the National Assembly electing a Deputy Speaker, electing a Speaker of the National Assembly and a Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Safe to say, both from different parties, and both are women, which is very important, Tsepo, especially in our democracy, that we talk about the elevating women into positions of power, and we've seen it happening, and we hope that all the other institutions across will lead by the example that has been set by the National Assembly. But before we continue further on that, let's look at what is the role of the National Assembly.
Well, it does seem like they were just showing us what is going on, and they are not yet. They have not yet started. It does take a lot of time. It does take so much time to just wait and find them get into work. That's how they are going to deliver the service. By the way, uh, that's what we are probably waiting for in terms of service delivery. And Jovo says, wish MKP was around. And I think we all wish they took part. But unfortunately, MK is not ready to play a role. I think their focus was on KZN. And unfortunately, it backfired. It backfired a lot for them. So they couldn't play a role in parliament. But then they should come. The earlier, the better. Because at this point, it's important for them to play a role in parliament. They lost KZN, unfortunately. So they have to go and start plan B. I don't know what would be the plan B, but eventually they have to start and find a way into being part of parliament. They're still not started, guys.
Of South Africa, which is
Sooner or later.
live right now.
But they are ready, as you can see.
Members can await their ballot
the
papers
ballot
to
boxes
cast
are there.
their vote for their preferred
Soon they are going to start
for the president of
with the process of
And so what the chief
voting. They are voting for Julius Malema and President Cyril Ramaphosa. So you can just take a guess there who's going to get that job. But we all know it's game over. Ramaphosa will be given that position. John Steenhuisen is backed by the many MPs of the DA, and they're going to be rallying for Ramaphosa to be the president. He said that even before the first sitting started, that they are going to give Ramaphosa the presidency. So far, we have the Speaker of Parliament, Togo Didiza, belonging to the ANC, and we had the Deputy Speaker belonging to the DA. Now, what's next is the president, obviously. That is going to the ANC. Unless miracles happen, Julius Malema becomes the president of South Africa. Unless a miracle happens. If not, then Ramaphosa retains that position of being the president. Black Child, what they did in KZN is unfair to the people of KZN. Honestly, I don't think it's unfair. I think at the end of the day, it's politics. You have to fight to get the majority. If you don't get it, you have to show your skill of negotiating so that you can win the support that you need. MK didn't win it. I think they had an opportunity to make it happen, but unfortunately, ANC's goal was to say that let us show MK that by reducing us, they haven't done anything. We are still strong. So that premier in KZN was given to the IFP. The DA has a premier in Western Cape. In KZN, it belongs to the IFP. In Gauteng, these are the big provinces in terms of the elections that happened. In Gauteng, you have ANC having the president, the premier. So it just means that the coalition is strong between these three parties. ANC made sure that if I'm going to lose and get 40%, I will make sure that I have friends that can back me up, and those friends are the DA and the the IFP. So for now, we wait to see what's going to happen in terms of the voting as time goes. We are getting closer. Manda, I'm sure you are angered by the fact that I'm letting you know that the issue of MKP in KZN is not about being unfair. No one is unfair in KZN. It's all about how do you negotiate. Unfortunately, they beat Zuma. MK is not in parliament as of now. So you can see, maybe they should have come in parliament so that they can support Julius Malema as the president. By not being there, it means Julius won't even get the opportunity. He's only going to get 55 votes as compared to Ramaphosa. So we're still waiting, guys. I think by now we are probably going to wait 5 or 7 minutes until they start. We've taken so much time, but they are coming back soon to vote for Julius Malema or Cyril Ramaphosa. Maybe Julius can make history and get ANC people to vote for him. But because ANC is working with DA, it's going to be unfortunate. The DA won't allow that. The DA is there to defend the ANC so that their smooth relationship can continue for the next 5 years. I hear you, Faith. It's a game of chess players, politics. So if you can make the first move, you must rest assured that the chances of losing are big for you, and that's what we are seeing currently. ANC working with the DA and having EFF and MK as the opposition. Unfortunately, we don't have MK in parliament. They were not sworn in. As of now, they are not members of parliament until they decide to come. They're probably going to come during the week. But remember, Jacob Zuma is going to address the nation on Sunday at 2 p.m. I believe it's related to what happened in KZN and also the nomination of Ramaphosa as the president of South Africa. So that you must watch out for. As you can see, guys, the speaker is not there. Is not there yet. So they're probably just busy printing and finalizing. So we are going to start soon. Unfortunately, they haven't started my V03. But as soon, I'm sure soon. As you can see, everyone is seated down. So they should be starting soon. And at the Cape Town International Convention Center. Oh, as okay, guys. By now I'm keeping quiet. They are coming back.
Of May 2024, when members of the public cast their vote and made their voices heard. I think the most important
improved. But overall, I think mainly about the election technology. We really commended the IEC for being transparent in terms of communication of throughout the election cycle. We could realize if you go to IEC website, you get information that today there was issue about the system that was not working. The IEC communicated. For me, that is quite fundamental. That's quite huge. So communication was very key, and the IEC was very open to engage stakeholders. The door was open. We could go and engage, and we were invited for several briefings. I think that was professional, and also we commended the professionalism of IEC staff during the electoral process itself. I thought that was quite phenomenal, because most of the staff that we interacted with were very professional, although there were glitches here and there, but you could see that the level of professionalism was maintained. So those kind of things we highlighted, and also we highlighted that the strength of institutions, state institutions, actually made easier the work of the IEC. We realized that this election was highly litigated. There were court cases in and out, and we realized that that did not compromise the work of the IEC. I think that actually solidified the work of the IEC. So those were overall findings, but our recommendations were to say the IEC must be over-prepared. I think this election, they used the data from previous elections to analyze the trend and perhaps prepare for this election, which took them by surprise in my view. So I think there's need to over-prepare than perhaps to moderately prepare for an election. So in terms of logistics, that's where the challenge is, but and also in terms of improving election technology. But overall, in terms of the legal frameworks, compliance to the Constitution, the standards, and I think there has been commendable efforts that we see that IEC did.
And from there, to then say that the South African elections, the 2024 South African elections, were credible, fair, and free.
As election observation missions, we don't certify elections to say the election was free and fair, because to determine whether the election was free and fair, it's a very complex issue, but we talk about the credibility. The credibility in terms of meeting international standards, in terms of the laws, whether the IEC acted in its mandate, the IEC complied with the Constitution, the IEC complied with the Electoral Act. I think the courts of law kind of confirmed that. Even the IEC's, in its own motion,
there is actually sound, guys. It's just that
to ask for the
sometimes they do play music,
I think that was fundamental,
which is dangerous to play
so
because of copyrights. But I think
acted.
I'll just monitor it in case there is music.
Of the law. But when it comes to logistics, this is not legal. I think that there is an over-assessment that the IEC did, to a larger extent, follow those standards.
Since you cannot declare whether the elections were free and fair, out of 10, what would you give the IEC? And secondly, where will members of the public be able to get hold of the criminal report that you have produced?
I cannot say for certain out of 10 or where the IEC stands, because the process is still going on. You realize that what we have done is a portion. We still have to observe this process and the declaration of results and the post-election period. So our report is a comprehensive report. So the election cycle is not finished yet. So we cannot give an assessment because we're still in
the Deputy Speaker belongs to the DA. Anelia Lotriet.
Give an assessment of how this new test.
That is the Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Thank you very much for talking to Parliament TV.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Mr. Tendai Mbanje of the African Center for Governance sharing with us on the observer mission that they've conducted with these 2024 general elections.
So, guys, at this point, if you see me muting, just know that they are playing music. I had already received a notification that the music is not allowed to be played. So um, I'm muting it because of trying to avoid that. But we are still live and we are still waiting for them to come and vote. I don't know why it takes so long, but they should come back soon. I mean, at this point, it's over 45 minutes since we've been waiting, which is really surprising that Duduzi, why are you putting old videos? That is not me. Everybody that you see, including the SABC, they're streaming from Parliament. What you see here, well, probably the SABC would just pause it and then come back when it comes. But everyone who is streaming is getting it from the Parliament. So at the moment, Parliament is playing these adverts so that while they are waiting for the people to come and vote. So rest assured, you are not at the wrong place. As soon as they start voting, we are all going to be live. So it's taking longer than we have all anticipated, but well, we are going to have to wait. Sure, Mduduzi. So we'll have to wait until they come and vote. Remember, it's Julius Malema versus Cyril Ramaphosa for. Okay, seems like they are back. Maybe not.
Proceedings are about to resume at the first sitting of the National Assembly. Of course, the order of the day has been the election of the Speaker of the National Assembly, the election of the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, and of course, we are in the process of the election of the President of the Republic.
Yeah, as you can see, Tsepo, on your screen, members settling down as the Chief Justice is going to be resuming the House sitting. But let me just give you a brief background on what Ms. Didiza did before she came to Parliament. I have indicated earlier that she joined Parliament in 1994, but before becoming a member of Parliament, Ms. Didiza worked in several organizations in various capacities, including the Secretary General of the Women's National Coalition that produced the first Women's Charter for Effective Equality, which was tabled in the first Parliament. Ms. Didiza holds, among others, a BA degree majoring in sociology and politics and an honors degree in politics. I just thought it's important that we highlight that so the members and our viewers are aware of the kind of women that this Parliament has elected into the positions of power.
And of course, members of the public can expect that members will be called to the chamber to cast their secret ballot vote for the election of the President of the Republic. Of course, members are making their way, they're interacting with each other and engaging, probably anticipating what the election results are going to look like. Of course, we have two nominees, that is Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa and Mr. Julius Malema, who is the other nominee for the President of the
Okay, guys, we are starting. Enjoy.
Let's go to proceedings. Stay tuned.
You may be seated. Honorable members, we shall now resume the proceedings. The assistant returning officers will now show that the ballot boxes are empty and they will close them. Thank you. The procedure to be followed is as follows. Members will be called in alphabetical order according to their surnames. When their names are called out, members must collect a ballot paper from the voting table. The returning officers will not call members who have not been sworn in. After collecting a ballot paper, each member must proceed to one of the ballot booths and make a clear cross in the box alongside the name of the nominated member of his or her choice. You may not make any other mark other than a cross. If you make any other mark, it will be a spoiled paper. After making the mark on the ballot paper, and while still in the booth, members should fold their paper in a way that the official mark can be seen by the returning officer at the ballot box. After the returning officer has noted the mark on the ballot paper, members should deposit it in the ballot box and resume their seats. The returning officer will now call upon members to vote.
Abrahams, ALA. Adams, F. Adams, RC. Alexander, WR. Apiri, MJ. Atkinson, PG. Ocamp, WAS. Bahrain, M. Bapti, EV. Bartlett, M. Basson, LJ. Bateman, AG. Bath, EM. Beasley, AD. Bergman, D. Bila, TJ. Bilankulu, NK. Blosse, MB. Botlani, TK. Bolman NJ, Bushielo SP, Boshoff WJ, Botius A, Breitenbach G, Biok MJ, Benz Namasha Z, Butelezi EM, Butelezi NZ, Butelezi SA. Cameron I, Kapa RN, Rebekulu RN, Chabane MS, Chance RWT, Chauke BF, Chauke T, CHTM, Chikunga LS, Christians DC. Christy KA, Clark MO, Klute EA, Chrissy BD, Cuthbert MJ, Davids SW, De Bloch van Schelter, AD, De Brain K, De Lil P, De Villiers JN.
Derna H, Dlomo SM, Diale BK, Didiza AT, Dikhale MC, Direko DR, Ditebe SL, Dlakude DE, Dlamini MM, Dlamini M. Lelanga M, Dagmore CM, Dundra ML, Engelbrecht J, Isaac F, Freeman E, Frenchman S, Frolic CT, Ghana SM. Gancho N, Dilishe S, Gwabaza NB, George DT, Gigaba KMN, Gina N, Godlimpi Z.
Honorable
Kodongwana.
members, please. There is noise. Members whose names are being called out will not hear.
Gina N, Godlimpi Z, Kodongwana E. Gondwe MM, Gross R, Governor Y, Graham Murray SJ, Groenewald PJ, Gungubele M, Kwahube S, Hadebe NM, Hala MM, Hassan F. Hatting C. Hendricks MGE, Tlabisa VF, Hlengwa M, Hlongo AS, Hlonyana KNF, Holomisa BH, Horn W, Hansinger CHA, Ismail H.
Jacobs L.C., James D.E., Jonas G.F., Jordan C., Kihakilwe B.M., Kekana B.S., Khabo G.D., Khobisa Ngaba K., Khachau K.L.
Kanyile, TA, Kaula, MS, Kojane, SG, Kumalo, JQ, Klopper, DD, Kobe, Kobe, MP, Kola, D.
Kamani, LM, Kurnov, GW, Creer, HCC, Kubai, MT, Kumbaka, AN, Kwankwa, NLS, Labaskachni, C, Lamola, RO, LaRue, KWD, Lechuta, MD.
Lekhanyane MS, Letlape MS, Letlape TKS, Letsie WT, Letsike MSE, Legaraba LE, Linde E, Lorima JRB, Lotrit A, Low STD.
Lucas SE, Lutuli BN, Mabe BP, Mabena TB, Machi BE, McPherson DW, Matikizela BS, Maduna N, Mayeko SM.
Magagula TE, Mahambehlala T, Mahlangu SS, Mahlatsi LW, Mahlaule MG, Mahlobo MD, Maumapelo, SOR, Mailula, PR, Maimane, MA.
Maimela KJ, Majodina PCP, Majozi Z, Makasi N, Mahato MP, Makubela LS, Malati MS, Malema JS, Malimacha CN,
teacher.
Manaha L, Manamela KB, Maneli PM, Mandasha GS, Manyi M, Mautwe OMC, Marais EJ, Marais P, Mahau TL, Masango PS, Maseko LM, Masemola ND, Mashabela NR, Mashatile SP, Mashele TV, Masina MC, Masondo D, Maswanganyi MJ, Matabata CS,
Matafa, OM, Matale, CC, Matulelwa, B, Matthias, L, Matiase, NS, Matsone, NWA, Bio, IM. Mackenzie G, Maklua JJ, Mchunu ES, Mchunu TVB, Mdluli MM, Mentenkuna NV, Meshwe KRJ, Meth N.
Mcina PS, Mkweba T, Mahaule MR, Mhlauli NB, Mhlongo NH, Mikalakis G, Milham KJ. Mkalipi HO, Mkize ZL, Mkonto CN, Mkwebane BJ, Mkutu L, Molotsane ML, Mwango MA, Mnganga Gabashe LA.
Modise Mcha M, Moela MS, Mufukeng ML, Morale TP, Morai SJ, Mukhala MR, Mukwena, JL, Mukwena, LG, Mulwele NA. Montwedi MK, Mo SJ, Moraka AT, Murolong IK, Musikatsi S, Mutsecha MA, Mutwaledi PA.
Mpiti L, Mhaha M, Ntolo NE, Mulda CP, Munyai TB, Mutambi AF. Mvana NQ, Myberg NG, Nalumango RS, Ndabeni Abrahams ST, Ndalane NA, Ndamase P, Ndlozi MQ. Yes, I did.
Nel May HE, Nel AC, Nemadzinga Chavalala J, Ngobo SL, Ngobeni LM, Nana ME, Nihas CG, Nkabane NP.
Nkopane NS, Nkosi NE, Nodada BB, Noluchungu NJ, Nontenja CT, Nontsele M, Ngola X, Ntlangwini EN.
Nchalenchali LL, Nchabeni KPS, Ntuli M, Nyonzo M, Nzimande BE, Nzuza NB, Pambo V, Peach WD.
Peterson JS, Pasha MJ, Piri CM, Polwane MB, Blakis WTD, Pool CJ, Potgieter LR, Powell EL, Pule DD.
Ramaila KS, Ramaphosa MC, Ramohupa ML, Ramohupa KD, Ramalubing A, Ramungalo TR, Ruos AC, Rorke FS. Sangoni KLN, Sapo L, Sarupin AN, Sols A, Shicheling A, Scriber LA, Siabi AM, Setlulu IS, Sekowati SC, Silamulela SD, Seni MM, Shabangu FL, Shelembe ML, Shikwambana M, Shibambu NF, Shiviti TG, Sibia NM.
Simelane TP, Singh N, Singh S, Sitole KP, Sitole RJ, Siweya RT, Skosana GJ, Smith CFB, Smith R. Sokanyile T, Sokopo MM, Somba Masiu NS, Soju MM, Spice ERJ, Steinhazen JH, Subrathi SI, Swart SN, Swartz B, Tafeni N. Tetyana Y, Tembekwayo SS, Fring WM, Tikana Kotiwe W, Tito LF, Trong KC, Tolashe NG, Trolip RAP. Jotetsi NT, Van der Merwe LL, Van der Walt D, Van Staden PA, Van Zyl AM, Vilakazi SG, Wakelin KH, Webster NL, Vessels WW.
Whitfield AG, Velskat C, Xabantshaba PP, Xhego ST, Yako YN, Zibi SS, Zigalala S, Zondi S, Zondo SS, Zungula V.
Are they done? Are they done? Honorable members, Are there any members who wished to vote but have not voted as yet?
I think Honorable Zondo was called and the Chief Justice is still seated there, not voted.
The assistant returning officers will now close and seal the ballot boxes.
Chief Justice.
Yes? Yes?
Wanted to remind you about the observers for elections because.
Sorry?
Wanted to remind you about observers for the counting of votes. Because in the other part, you almost took us towards a crisis.
We confirmed. We will do as we did earlier.
Thank you. No, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. May I find out whether the parties will send the same representatives that they sent before?
Yes, they are going to do so.
It will be the same. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I therefore now suspend proceedings to enable the returning officers to count the votes and report to me. We shall resume proceedings when the bells are rung. The proceedings are suspended.
Hey there, guys. So it is a waiting game now. It's probably going to take quite some time, but eventually they are going to come and let us know who becomes the winner. On our polls, we are currently on 1,302 voters. And 61% said Julius Malema will win, and 39% says Ramaphosa will win. But of course, we know what's going to happen. Ramaphosa is going to remain victorious as he's always been because of the backup that he has. So for us now is to just be patient until they come. Of course, those who want to sleep, they might miss out. This is going to be very interesting. It's a pity that it takes a lot of time before they can finally finish counting. A disclaimer, I'm currently suffering with flu, so just bear with me. We'll be waiting for them to finish. But then again, we know that there's no way that Julius Malema will stand a chance. It's ANC and Democratic Alliance. That relationship will make sure that they deliver Ramaphosa, as the ANC made sure that they delivered the Deputy Speaker, Lodriat, from the DA, and also Togo Didiza. So the waiting games now will give us Ramaphosa as the president. But just in case, what if it was to be Julius? Just maybe something happens and they select Julius as the president. That would be a very, very interesting outcome. But a man can only dream, can he? That is the only thing we can get from that. Dreams, if Julius can be a winner, because we know for sure it is going to be Ramaphosa. No other person. The relationship between DA and ANC, they made sure that they have numbers on their side. So no one is going to defeat them for the next 5 years, unless they start having disagreements amongst themselves. But if not, the coalition will remain for 5 years. Already it's showing flames in the rest of the provinces. Just so everybody knows, all the 9 provinces belong to the coalition of ANC and DA. In other words, if you exclude the Western Cape, which is under the DA, which is part of the coalition, KZN has been taken from the MK, which was promising for them. Unfortunately, it took long for them to convince the NFP. They only needed NFP to defeat the ANC, but unfortunately, NFP has sided with the ANC, which means now Jacob Zuma will be addressing the nation on Sunday, and we want to hear what he's going to say. Because a chess player like Jacob Zuma made moves, and unfortunately, Ramaphosa is having the last laugh as they took that province from the MK party. Everybody was rooting for MK party to win KZN, but unfortunately, the coalition has taken it again. Just so that I don't spend a lot of time speaking, as they were busy voting, there was an address by Fikile Mbalula, which I think you guys might be interested in the time, because, comrades, they might take longer than we expect them to do. It's about 23 minutes. So, guys, here's Fikile Mbalula.
The SG of the ANC will address yourself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the media. The ANC congratulates all members of Parliament who took an oath this morning to be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and to obey, respect and uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic. They have each undertaken to serve the people of South Africa to the best of their ability. Since the National Executive Meeting decided on a GNU to take the process of forming a government at its special session on the 6th June 2024, the ANC's negotiations team has continued engagement with political parties who receive seats in the 7th Parliament. The ANC has considered a number of options and resolved to establish government of national unity. The ANC has met with all political parties except for Action SA and United African Transformation. The ANC continues to make efforts to reach out to these parties. We have an agreement that we keep engaging with the MK party to ensure the effective implementation of the mandate of the electorate and to promote stability, growth and transformation. We can confirm that the majority of parties have agreed on the establishment of government of national unity. This will include cooperation in both the executive and the legislature. The GNU parties are expected to adopt, quote-unquote, a statement of intent. The 2024 Government of National Unity, which outlines foundational principles, a basic minimum program of priorities and modalities of the GNU. The statement of intent will be a public document to ensure accountability and foster trust between the electorate and the political parties that form part of the GNU. In addition, the parties have made a commitment to an all-inclusive national dialogue process with parties, civil society, labor, business, and other sectors to discuss critical challenges facing the nation. The national dialogue process will seek to develop a national social compact that enables the country to meet the aspirations of the National Development Plan. The ANC has circulated the Statement of Intent document and is giving parties the space to engage with the Statement of Intent. The ANC will sign the agreement, an agreement with every political party that agrees to form the government of national unity. We have started signing with the Democratic Alliance. The government of national unity is on track. The ANC has now successfully formed governments in the 6 provinces that we have won, and formed government of provincial unity in Gauteng province and KwaZulu-Natal. In Gauteng, the Premier and the Speaker from the ANC have been elected unopposed. We wish to congratulate Comrade Panyaza Lesufi, the incoming Premier, and Comrade Murakani Musupie. In KwaZulu-Natal, Comrade Nontobeko Boyce has been elected. We will cooperate in that government as led by the IFP with the election of the Premier today in KwaZulu-Natal legislature. We further congratulate Comrade Lubabalo Oscar Mabuyane, serving his 2nd term as Premier of the Eastern Cape. Comrade Makwin Litsua Mataye, the new Premier of the Free State. Comrade Popi Constance Ramatuba, the new Premier of Limpopo. Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, the new Premier of Mpumalanga. Comrade Kagiso Mukhosi, the new Premier of the Northwest Province, and Comrade Zamani Saul, the Premier of the Northern Cape, serving his 2nd term. We wish to also bring to your attention that the ANC have appointed in the National Parliament Mtumiseni Ntuli as the new Chief Whip of the African National Congress. Comrade Togoti Tiza is now contesting, and we are waiting for the results, to become the new Speaker of the National Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, SG. We'll now turn to questions.
Okay, I have a question. I'm sorry, I'm on the floor. Because I'm also on mic stand.
Okay.
My name's Diane Hawker from Deutsche Welle. My question relates to the arrangement, the government and national unity arrangement. It looks like the ANC has gotten into bed, as it were, with a number of parties who were quite strongly campaigning against the ANC. The DA saying that the country needs to be saved from the ANC, and also on the campaign trail, essentially painting the ANC as quite a bad guy. How does the ANC and the DA and other parties, how do they move forward from that point after so many comments of that nature?
National unity is not a melting pot. It's a desire and a strategic point of prioritizing the country across ideological political divide. It does not mean that political parties cease to say the things they said. Should we get into the government of national unity, and there are issues that we need to be held accountable about. If you look at the legislatures emphasizes the principle of accountability, which we embrace as the ANC. Now that the cooperation will be broadened to other political parties, will even deepen accountability within the legislatures. That is most welcome by the ANC. When we're governing and governing alone, we were actually accused of fudging most of the things and not being open to accountability. Now what it means is that our ministers will be held accountable through government and the legislatures to do better for South Africans. The ANC have always embraced the principle of transparency. We're going into this government of national unity, and in this framework and in its foundational principles in the beginning, without fears. Because at the end of the day, if you fear to be transparent, to be accountable, you wouldn't embrace accountability. We're deepening democracy, and we are ready to get into the government of national unity with everyone who wants to work for the good of the South African people and serve the people of South Africa.
ENCA?
Usiphamandla Goke from ENCA. Who else will be signing? Please give us the names of the political parties how are you going to share this power? Who is getting what in terms of executive positions and the legislature? Surely you have a draft that you are working on right now.
No, the draft does not speak about positions because that becomes transactional. The draft talks about the foundational principles of what we want to achieve within the government of national unity. You will know the composition of government of national unity when the president announces, having engaged and consulted with different political parties who want to participate. The ANC have outlined that we don't go for one party, two party coalition, grand coalition. We go for government of national unity. Parties have embraced that, and we are engaging beyond this sitting in relation to what needs to be done after the inauguration, when the president is inaugurated, and how are we going to constitute the government of national unity. We are going, our work doesn't stop. We will be working with the strategic framework of the government of national unity. We've got a statement of intent that we have distributed to political parties to make comment. Things are fluid, they work out very fast. The Chief Justice said today, we thought we will meet on the 19th, so there's no time to waste time. So we need to move forward. We need stability, we need to bring assurances to the masses of our people, first and foremost South Africans who have voted, including those who have not voted, that the country is in safe hands and we are moving forward. And today is a remarkable step in the aftermath of the 29th of May, that we've started electing the speaker and we've sworn in the MPs. We're in full swing. In no time we'll leave tonight with the president being elected and the deputy speaker. So when the president engages and talks to political parties, and when we finalize our strategic framework, we will talk about the issues that we need to talk about with other political parties that they will want them to be addressed within the framework of the government of national unity. We have signed with the Democratic Alliance already in terms of the way forward, and that is what is important. So we will sign also with other political parties. Remember, we are leading in relation to this particular matter, but the question of leadership is not an issue. It's a question of what are you able to do with others, which is the principle of GNU. Others have embraced and they are prepared to come on board. Others will not be party to it. They will be outside government of national unity and still become public representative of South Africa through their political parties. That is most welcome.
Still on the point of accountability, earlier on the Democratic Alliance held a briefing where they basically, when it comes to the calls that they've continuously made insofar as the arrest of senior ANC officials implicated in state capture, that does not necessarily cease now that they form part of this government of national unity. The deputy president is one person that they've been gunning for the longest time. What then happens in such an instance? Does the ANC still close rank even though you're not necessarily a majority, especially as well when you look at the reinstating of the Phala Phala report? Was this also part of the discussions behind closed doors?
Political parties do not cease to be who they are and what they represent because of government of national unity. Let me explain. Government of national unity is for the good of the country, to work together, to run the country, to work together, to be in the legislatures, to work together. It doesn't mean that political parties cease to be who they are and what they believe in. So it's not an arrangement in which you cease to be a political party and become a branch of the ANC. And you kill your identity and your beliefs. They will be what they are. Neither will we change to be who we are. We believe in minimum wage for the workers. DA doesn't believe in that. We will not change in this government of national unity because we believe in that. We believe in affirmative action. Our foreign policy believe in multilateralism and working with other countries, but at the same time to solidarize for the self-determination of others, it won't change. So there's no question about thinking that political parties now, because there is a government of national unity, they cease to operate. All what it emphasizes is stability. Let's deliver for the people of South Africa. Let's do things right. If the ANC has got, the DA believes that they can take us on, including our public representatives, the principle of transparency and guaranteed and enshrined in our constitution in terms of Chapter 9 institutions to hold each other accountable exist. The ANC has never been opposed to that. The belief that we cushion and protect corruption is not there in the ANC principles. It is only the perceptions that have been deeply entrenched in society that have made everyone to believe that we are cozy with corruption, and the DA doesn't want corruption, ANC love corruption and all of that. Hence, we have implemented the renewal program of the ANC, and it doesn't cease. And it was not a program born out of what the DA says. It was born out of the practical experiences and the voices of our people and the mandate of our national conference that we renew or die. It is important that we deal with perceptions practically and put measures in place to deal with that. Coming here in this election is one of the issues that we had to talk about, and which we know, as we have passed now that period, going forward, as part of the mandate we have received from the masses of our people, those issues must be addressed, and the ANC must continue to deepen not only its understanding but the implementation of its renewal programs to cleanse itself of the image of a party that embraces corruption. Now that we've got a government of national unity, it is most welcome, and therefore robust discussion do not cease among political parties. Ideological differences will not cease among political parties. For the interest of the country, we said, let's work together and move South Africa. We've got no fear in that, because we know we hold our own in relation to governing this country and deepening the national democratic revolution and transformation of this society.
Mail and Guardian, please, the hand has been up for a long time.
Sorry, in terms of the issue around consensus, there's a clause in that agreement which says that the governing, the GNU should have it should be consultative in when you are trying to recruit or when another party is coming in. Now, with the DA having said that they are against the red line is the EFF and MK party, and you saying right now that you will still have negotiations with the MK party, will you be going together with the DA to the MK party? How does it work?
No, it doesn't work like that. It is our own bilateral arrangement in terms of the MK party, and keeping the door open to engaging with them, and it cannot be determined by another party. When we're discussing with the DA, they put the red lines, which we appreciated, but at the end of the day, we are not negotiating the red lines. We are negotiating what is good for South Africans, and on that score, we actually agree. But from the point of view of the ANC, it doesn't mean that we are hamstrung to engage and to talk to other parties in the context of what is good for South Africa. And that is it. And if MK party itself, let's say in the discussion and engagement, wishes to participate and do any other thing, it will be determined by the process of engagement. And that is what is important for us. So it's not going to be determined by the DA. We went to speak to MK and spoke to the EFF, despite the red lines that if they come into the government of national unity, they will not participate. And even others said, we will not speak to others. And we managed to navigate through this particular process, having not undermined what we believe in as a party, and talk to everybody. So the spirit of talking is very important, and dialogue. We're talking about national dialogue in relation to one of the things we have agreed to. That process will actually continue.
Stephen from AGNET. How would you describe the ANC's performance in the previous administration, when you were, the governing party? And with regards to the elections and the outcome thereof, what would you say have been the biggest lessons for the ANC going forward?
Well, we will address that question in the next coming weeks. We believe we did well, and the gauge is the outcome of the election. 6 million people agree with us to continue to govern, to continue to work for South Africans. 6 million people in a low voter turnout. But that, nonetheless, that is the biggest number that is reflected in our public representatives here in this parliament. With reduced majority, 159, we are still number one in South Africa. The ANC must learn, must accept the difficulties, and then if we are to turn the situation around, it is going to be important that it must be well informed, and we must be truthful to ourselves. So that moment is coming, and we already know, and as we were campaigning, what were the defects in our renewal project. Social distance with the people. People opened their houses. No one shut the ANC out when we were campaigning, which is a demonstration that they still believe in the African National Congress. But you'll get the voices that say, yes, move forward, we see what you are doing, but don't come to us only when there is an election. It is important. Mass-based party, revolutionary party must behave as such and not become something else. If we behave like we have been, fighting for positions, fighting for conferences, and forget about the people, we will be wiped out. We will be wiped out, we'll lose power. The people have not just warned us, they have actually spoken very loud. And the task of a party to come back from that, it means let's accentuate and accelerate the things we agreed that needs to be done to demonstrate to South Africans that indeed this is our movement, as they would have demonstrated. Otherwise, if that is not the case, the revolution will not just be reversed or suffer a setback, will be politically obliterated. We must avoid that.
What about the future of the case in the International Court of Justice?
Nothing will change. The case continues. Nothing will change. Our foreign policy, like I said, still intact as we go forward. So nothing will change in relation to what we as the ANC believe in going forward.
This will be the last question.
Oh no, I just wanted to follow up on the foreign policy because the Palestinians have the advisor for President Abbas has called on South Africans to not vote for the DA and to not have any alliance with them. So how will this now...
We are not controlled by the DA. This is South Africa, a multi-party democracy. In our situation in South Africa, we've got opponents whom we define as our adversaries. And at the same time, they are hold to their own. You know, the spirit of our constitution, our democracy, allows political parties to express themselves. We appreciate the support we got from the Muslim community, and at the same time, because of the work that we have done, that will continue to do to solidarize with the people of Palestine. It was not an election stance. It did not start with us. It started with Mandela. It started with Oliver Tambo. It started with Albert Lutuli. It started long time ago. It is who we are. We are not free unless others are free and they're fighting for their own freedom and their own self-determination. This is who we are. We are the African National Congress. You can't take that away from us. So when people are facing challenges elsewhere in the world, like we too faced those challenges in South Africa, and then they went to the UN and they said that apartheid must be declared a crime against humanity. We cannot, when we are free, not use that status to fight for the liberation of others. The people of Western Sahara, the people of Palestine, the embargo against the people of Cuba will become and will always be part and parcel of the ANC agenda going forward. Nothing will change with regard to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, guys, that was
Thank you. Thank you.
So basically, I played the clip of Fikile just so that we can keep time going because we know for sure these guys are going to take forever to come and address and give us the results. But at least we got 23 minutes from Fikile Mbalula. But what I do know is that the EFF, by coming with a motion to impeach Ramaphosa, they probably want to see if that motion goes to Parliament, what would be the response of the DA. When the issue of Palapala was brought forward, DA was supporting that, saying that Ramaphosa need to be accountable, he must be removed. So the EFF basically want to test the relationship between DA and the ANC. They are trying to say that, okay, DA, now you are working with the ANC. You remember very well that you are the same people who were pushing for the removal of Ramaphosa. So since now you are in a coalition, what do you have to say for yourself? Which I think it won't bear any fruits because Ramaphosa spoke to John Steenhuisen very well and told him, if we are to work with you, you are going to have to support me all the way. So the DA and the ANC are going to protect each other regardless of what. But also the issue of the support for Israel. I'm also looking to see what would be the response and the direction of the DA. They are working with the ANC, who is against Israel and supporting the people of Palestine. Now, they are going to be tested in many aspects when time goes, because they would want to see, is the relationship going to be fruitful? And it must be a task for both of ANC and DA to prove to the rest of the parties that we are unshaken. Regardless of who does what, we are unshaken. Ndlovu says, I've never seen Mr. Mbalula being much serious about politics. Keep it up, Bucks. Well, Mbalula is a refined leader now. They made sure that they put him down and just to tell him that behave like a secretary general. Don't behave like a gossiper. So now it seems like whenever he speaks, there is some sense in the things he says. He's not the same Mbalula that was campaigning. Now he's a serious Mbalula. And a serious Mbalula is good because you can't keep tainting the image of the ANC. He was literally becoming the worst Secretary General the ANC ever had. Well, maybe he can contest that with Isma Khashule. But his utterances on the public platform were not good, but I can see now that he is speaking so well. Anyway, guys, as I said, struggling with flu, but we keep going. We are just waiting for them to come back to announce the results. We just spent about 25 minutes listening to Mbalula, so obviously, hopefully, it bought us some time in terms of those guys coming back to announce the results. So it is the waiting game now. Of course, I can read your comments so that we can keep time going. And those who haven't clicked like on the video, please do so, guys. We are about to get done with the live stream today. We have around 1,488 votes. 61% in favor of Julius Malema being the president, and 39% in favor of Ramaphosa being the president. If we can get just 10 votes, then we can go as far as 1.5. But then the people want to see Julius Malema being the president, 60% of them. And unfortunately, the DA is on the way of Julius Malema being the president. If there was no coalition, there would be a candidate from EFF, a candidate from ANC, and a candidate from the Democratic Alliance. It was going to be very interesting because at that point we would know that someone is going to become a winner. And anyway, they are coming back, guys.
Honorable members, we will resume our proceedings. I have received the returning officer will furnish me with the report of the counting. Honorable members, I've now received a written report from the returning officer. The result of the ballot is as follows. The total number of ballot papers issued is 339. The total number of ballot papers counted is 339. The total number of spoiled to invalid ballot papers is 12. And the candidates' votes are as follows. Honorable J.S. Malema, 44 votes. Honorable MC Ramaphosa, 283 votes. Honorable members, in terms of item 6 of Part A of Schedule 3 of the Constitution, I accordingly declare Honorable MC Ramaphosa duly elected President of the Republic of South Africa.
We can now hear the song from the DA.
And we have now come
What is the song
to
from
the
the
end
DA?
of my role in this house. Before I request the Speaker to take the chair, I want to take this opportunity to express my appreciation for the cooperation and dignified manner in which everybody conducted themselves today. It was indeed a real honor and privilege for me to preside in the proceedings of this House. Thank you very much. I now request the Speaker to take the chair.
Long live the President.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable members, we will have the time to make our reflections and also celebrate. But there are certain issues that still have to be done before we can ululate and do so joyously. Congratulations, Mr. President-elect. Honorable members, I thank the Chief Justice for having conducted these proceedings. I will now afford each political party 2 minutes to give their congratulatory messages and the President-elect an opportunity to address the House. Order, honorable members. I will start with the Democratic Alliance, followed by the Economic Freedom Fighters, followed by the Inkatha Freedom Party, the Patriotic Alliance, the Freedom Front Plus, Action SA, African Christian Democratic Party, United Democratic Movement, Rise Mzansi, Build One South Africa, African Transformation Movement, Al-Jama, NCC, PAC, UAT, Good, and the ANC. Can we now start with the Democratic Alliance? You have got 2 minutes. It's there on the timer. When it's finished, we can close.
Madam Speaker, congratulations on your election. Mr. President, congratulations on your election. I think today is a historic day for our country, and I think it is the start of a new chapter of building, a new chapter of cooperation, a new chapter of us putting our country and its interests and its future first. In this election, the voters chose not to give any party its own majority. In doing so, they have told us that they want us to work together to build a prosperous, non-racial, united South Africa with a growing economy that works for everybody. We must now, as the members of this House, rise to that occasion and rise to the call of South Africa. Despite the political party T-shirts that we wore during the election, each and every one of us is first of all a South African. Our country needs us now to step up, to end the era of finger pointing, and to start a new era of collectively putting our shoulder to the wheel to ensure that the country that we all love prospers into the future, and that the people that we have been sent to this House to serve get value for money and ensure that we give effect to the dreams, the hopes and aspirations of every South African. The Democratic Alliance and I look forward to working with you, Mr. President, and the rest of the team that will be forming part of the Government of National Unity to put our country first, to take hands and to work collectively in the interests of the people we serve and the country we love. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. The Economic Freedom
Thank you
Fighters.
very much, Madam Speaker. Congratulations to you. And you know very well that under normal circumstances, would have ordinarily supported you because we believe in your commitment to a parliament that is going to work effectively and efficiently. We have an experience of working with you even before, and we do not doubt your capacity. Our contestation of you was necessarily to contest the betrayal of our people, and it has nothing to do with you as an individual. Congratulations, Mr. President. We accept the results and the voice of the people of South Africa, which was expressed on the 29th of May. And we also accept the results of today's gathering because it's a reflection of a democratic practices. But we contested because we wanted to demonstrate to South Africa that we do not agree to this marriage of convenience to consolidate the white monopoly power over the economy and the means of production in South Africa. This marriage, it's a marriage that seeks to undermine the changing of property relations in South Africa. We refuse to sell out. We have never done so when we were young, and we're not going to do so today. We don't have a history of being collaborators. We are going to ensure that this parliament is functional. We can reassure you that we will not fight with any bouncer. We are going to be the best and effective opposition that is going to ensure that both you and the DA are held accountable. This is not a government of national unity. This is a grand coalition between the ANC and the white monopoly capital.
Honorable
History
member, your
will
time
judge
is
you
over.
and judge you harshly. Thank you.
Inkatha Freedom Party. Order, honorable members. Can we allow the speaker on the podium to make his speech? Honorable Sabisa.
Congratulations to you,
Honorable Speaker and Deputy Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the IFP, I congratulate His Excellency Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa on election as the President of the Republic of South Africa. This is the beginning of a new era. The IFP stands ready to serve in the government of national unity, knowing that South Africa is utterly changed by the 2024 election results and the decisions that have been taken in the best interest of our country. We enter the GNU with an open mind and eyes wide open. We have hope that the IFP's vision to rebuild South Africa take root as we provide our contribution to strengthen governance, creating social justice, and securing economic development. We may not be able to silence those voices. That is a lot of those who lead in difficult times, but will be remembered as people of courage who chose to work together for the good of South Africa. Honorable President, rest assured of this. We will support you on every right decision, but where we must disagree, we will do so and advance valid reasons of our disagreement. The IFP will not be diluted nor lose its identity. Not to support the ANC, the DA, or any other political party, but for the interest of the people of South Africa. We wish you well, Honorable President.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The Patriotic Alliance.
Madam Speaker, I would like to congratulate you, Mrs. Lothrit. I'd like to congratulate you, and I did vote for you. I would like to congratulate the President, Mr. Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. This country, I'm standing here as a person that got a second chance. 96% of guys that come from prison go back to jail. And my being here comes with a hope that I can show them that you don't need to go back to jail. And I think this country has gotten another chance. And when you get a second chance, you must use it optimally. I think the voters gave all of us a second chance. I would like to congratulate the ANC for accepting the result, even if they didn't get 50%. The world is full of stories of presidents that only accept results when they get over 50%. I will support the GNU, and I'm proud of the GNU. And as the leader of the DA has said, we're done with politicking. We might wear different T-shirts. There will be those amongst us that will call us sellouts only because they are not part of it. But we've learned from them. When they were doing it in 2016, they were not sellouts. They don't have the only right. They have given themselves the right that if they work with white people, then it is fine.
Honorable member,
when
your
we work
time
with
is
white
up.
people, then we are sellouts. They are the
Your
sellouts.
time is up.
Honorable member, time is up.
Begging for a job.
Freedom Front Plus. Freedom Front Plus. Over to you, sir. Order, honorable members. Order. Honorable members, can we allow the speaker on the podium to make a statement?
Geachte Speaker,
deur u en die agbare president. Baie geluk. En ek wil begin om te sê dat as ons kyk, ons sit in 'n nasionale vergadering, and if you look at the banners, it says equality and diversity. It says cooperative governance, but it also says oversight and accountability. Honourable President, at the official announcement of the results at the Results Centre, you said that each and every member of Parliament must remember that the seat you have does not belong to you, but to the people you represent. And I want to put emphasis on that, because that's our constitutional obligation as members of Parliament. Honourable President, the slogan of the Freedom Front Plus in this election was, let's restore and build. Kom ons herstel en ons bou. En dit is wat die Vryheidsfront Plus wil doen. Ons wil herstel en ons wil bou tot almal se voordeel. But we will always have oversight and accountability. Mag u die seën van ons hemelse Vader ontvang. Dis 'n groot las en taak op u skouers. Alleen gaan u dit nie regkry nie. Maar met die hulp van ons hemelse Vader kan ons Suid-Afrika 'n land vir almal maak. Baie seën en baie voorspoed.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Action SA.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Action SA, please allow me to congratulate you on your election and the election on Madam Deputy Speaker. Congratulations, Mr. President, on your re-election. We pray on behalf of all South Africans that your second term in office will be considerably better than your first term in office, where we noted that corruption got worse, crime reached an all-time high, and the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality are more pervasive than ever before. We see that the media and social media are hailing this new grand coalition as the high road option. Well, that remains to be seen, because choosing the high road is one thing, but passing milestones that you have set yourself on the high road and passing milestones of progress on that high road is the acid test of success. The people of South Africa deserve a better government, and we pray that this will be a better government. And we undertake, as Action SA and a member of the opposition, that we will not oppose for the sake of opposing. Where you come with solid proposals that take this country forward, you'll have our support. Where you do not meet your milestones, we'll hold you to account, because we want to fix South Africa. All the best, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. ACDP.
Honourable Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, members of the press, fellow South Africans, the ACDP wishes to extend its congratulations to you, Honourable Speaker, and the Deputy Speaker. I'm sure the two of you are going to make an excellent team. We also want to extend our congratulations to newly elected President Ramaphosa, and we want to state clearly that this meeting is a pivotal moment in the history of this nation. After 30 years of democracy, South Africans have spoken. They are saying they are tired of having one political party dominating the political scene. While others in the past have said South Africa needs a two-party state like America, they have rejected that. So we are grateful that they have said South Africans must learn to work together. And we believe if we work together, we put our heads together, we prioritize South Africans and not our political parties, then South Africa will turn out to be one of the best countries in the world. It should be, because we have the potential, we have the capacity to be one of the best. But as I close, I want to remind our members in this chamber that our politics and our challenges in South Africa are so many. Some of them, they look so difficult and impossible. And because of that, I must emphasize the fact that we need God's help. We all, as South Africans, must say, Here, help us as a belief. The Lord bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. United Democratic Movement.
Our Honorable Speaker, the Chief Justice, Honorable President, and Honorable Members, congratulations to you, Madam Speaker, and your Deputy. Allow me, on behalf of the United Democratic Movement, to congratulate you, Mr. Ramaphosa, on being elected as President of the Republic of South Africa for your second term. The problems facing this country are well documented, and they require a Marshall Plan to tackle them with a sound implementation strategy. Laziness and lack of discipline must not characterize the new government and its administration.
Thank you very much. Rise Mzansi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of Rise Mzansi, I would first like to thank the Chief Justice for an excellent job done during the proceedings today. I want to congratulate you, Madam Speaker, on your election, and you, Mr. President, on your election. Today is a day on which we get to see the miracle of democracy, the peaceful transfer of power from one administration to the next. It's something we must never, ever take for granted, because other countries and society are not so fortunate as to have what we have in South Africa. Ours collectively is a very weighty task as public representatives. Fewer people trust the political system. Fewer people are voting. We need a strong parliament. We need trustworthy public representatives. We need a strong, ethical, and capable government in the executive, so that we may restore the trust of the South African people in our democracy. And the only way we can do that is to apply ourselves properly and with diligence to the task that the South African people have given all of us. Mr. President, you are everybody's president from today on, not just the African National Congress. All of us are committed to doing the best we can for the South African people. As one of my colleagues said, we will not oppose for the sake of opposing, but we will hold you and those in government to account when this is necessary, because the power that is bestowed on you and all of us is held in trust, and we must never abuse it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member Bosa.
Honorable Chief Justice, to our Speaker,
who's recently elected, fellow South Africans, Bagaetsu, Dumelang. It is indeed a question one has to grapple with. When I reflect on the 29th of May, I ask myself a question that actually comes from the Bible that says, can a nation be born in a day? I happen to believe the 29th of May gave us a new start, a fresh beginning. I happen to believe that South Africa will never be the same again. For that to happen, it's going to ask us a number of questions. Mr. President and Speaker. The first is, are we willing to put up our hands and say this country deserves better than what it has had in the last 30 years, and we will charter a way forward for a better 30 years? It asks us the more difficult question that says, could, as the Speaker of this House, hold the executive to account regardless of how it's put together, so that our people will know that all actions will be held accountable for the good of all the people, and that certainly as Build One South Africa will be fighting to do. Mr. President, to you, I wish to say this to you, that your role in 1994 was one such of bringing this nation and drafting a constitution that built a new consensus. Today, the task feels a bit similar, even though in a different age. It asks of you to maybe in many ways ensure that the haves and the have-nots have a conversation so that all of us have something. It asks us the question to say, where there are divisions in our country, we will pull together to build a united South Africa. I wish you well in that task, and I give you my assurance that when you want to build one South Africa, you will have my support. But when we differ from that, we will hold you to accountable. And may God bless our beautiful nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. ATM.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on behalf of the ATM, I want to congratulate you for your election. Also want to congratulate the Deputy Speaker and the President that has been elected today. It is our view as the ATM that power is meaningless if it does not translate into a good quality of life and the resolution of the problems that are faced by the people. People do not elect parties for the sake of electing parties. They elect parties with the hope that their lives will improve for the better. It is for that reason, as the ATM, we hope that this government will indeed lead this country towards the resolution of all of the problems that are faced by our people. The root causes of the problems that we face in our country lies in the structure of the economy. The structure of the economy has remained unchanged or untransformed since 1994. And if that is not dealt with, then all of these problems will continue to multiply. The economy of our country is still in the hands of few families and oligopolies. In our view as a party, there needs to be fundamental changes in the structure of the economy, not cosmetic changes that won't bring any meaningful change in the lives of the people. We want to commit as the ATM that we'll continue playing our role in holding the executive accountable, and most importantly, we'll fight that Parliament does indeed fulfill its constitutional mandate. Congratulations once more. Thank you.
Thank you. Al-Jama.
Honorable Speaker, behind every president there is a First Lady. So I would like to say congratulations to the First Lady. Round of applause. I did give President Ramaphosa 10 out of 10 in the 6th Parliament for building a new civilization because of his concern for the lives of women and children in Gaza. Now in South Africa, our president is trying to build a new nation, and I don't know what I'm going to score because he is faced with a great challenge. People burn flags. People want to secede. So we'd like to wish the President everything of the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. NCC.
Honourable Speaker, Madam Deputy Speaker, Mr. President, congratulations on your election. Mr. President, it was 5 years ago that I begged you in Mitchell's Plain to do the right thing for the suffering coloured people on the Cape Flats. You shook my hand, you said you would. You never did. Mr. President, 5 years ago you spoke to us about Tumamina. You mentioned the 9 wasted years. We should add your last 5 to it. Mr. President, I stand here today, delegated here by a community so desperate for change that they sent a recovering drug addict and reformed gangster to tell their story. Mr. President, the colored people are dying, and this House has done nothing about it. Mr. President, I want to support the government of national unity, but when you include the right-wing fringe into it, it makes it hard for me to get involved. We wish you well, because South Africa must succeed. And this success, Mr. President, lies at your door. But the voters are telling us that we do not have full support of the ANC anymore. Mr. President, this country is at a crossroads. One wrong move, and our poor will continue to die. Our fear is that the wrong move has already been made. I hope that we are wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. PAC.
Madam Speaker, he had to leave, the leader of the PAC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. UAT.
Kgotso Africa. Ha ke qale ke lebohe Chief Justice, ke lebohe sebui sa palamente, ra o lebohisa mme. Really United African Transformation, re supporta bomme ba ma-Afrika. Mopresidente wa naha, ra o lebohisa mongaka. Empa molaetsa wa rona ke ona, batho ba rona ba lapile. Batho ba rona ba kena dikobong ka tlala. Batho ba rona ba sotleha. Mopresidente wa naha, bana ba rona ha ba vote ba tsubile. Ba tsubile nyewe ena o thweng ke nyaope. Ha ba tseba ya pele ka ba ya morao. Ha ba di planning tsa di development, ha ba na di programe, ha ona letho ba di etsang, ba eme hona le seo ba se emetseng, ba tsubile ntate wa rona. Batho ba rona ba lapile. Tswetswe Really United African Transformation, molaetsa wa rona kona, dipuong tsa lona, ha le kopane le banana ba mmala wa lehodimo, re kopa o re kopele lefatshe. O re kopele lefatshe ka fatshe ho lona. O re kopele lefatshe ka tlase ho lona. Re tsebe ho rekisa di-minerale tsa rona. O re kopele lefatshe ka hodimo. Re itjalle dijo. Ha re batle ho fuwa tjhelete, ha re batle ho fuwa di-grant, re kopa ho itjalla dijo ntate. Re kopa dithaba tsa rona, re explore tourism. Ntate re kopa didiba tsa rona, re no metsi a hlwekileng. Izwe lethu.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Good. Order, Honorable Members. Good. Is Honorable Member Delil in the House?
Not here, Madam Speaker.
I don't see the representative, the African National Congress.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, the Chief Justice of the Republic of South Africa. May I also start by congratulating you, Madam Speaker, and your deputy, and of course also congratulate the President of the ANC and the President of our country. So the President for all of us. Mr. President, I do want to say that as you would know, the Constitution of the Republic enjoins you in particular and all of us in general as honorable members with a responsibility and a very enduring responsibility to build a non-racial and non-sexist, a democratic and a prosperous society. And I do want to urge you, Mr. President, that as you know, you are assuming office at the time when the country is at the point in which we have defined as a moment of fundamental consequence, in which we are required as public representatives and honorable members to stand up together and to ensure that we build a government and a country in the best interest of all South Africans, as opposed to our own partisan or parochial ideological differences. So I do want to congratulate you, Mr. President, and say, as you assume office, this is a moment for you to take us to climb a particular mountain, not so that we can be seen, but in order for us to have a better view of the challenges we face as a country and act together effectively to overcome them. And I do want to say that the African National Congress is very pleased that a number of political parties have accepted to work together in building a government of national unity. Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you.
We miss you, Honorable Majodina.
Order, Honorable Member. Honorable Majodina is still in the
Honorable
House.
Majodina.
We don't miss Mamina.
Honorable members, I know you have missed each other, particularly those of you who were in the 6th administration. We are all new, and I'm sure we'll again exchange pleasantries and take each other to tea. I won't mention the other place because it's not here. When we go back to the assembly once it's done, I know that after lunch, some of my members will visit another place. But they will still be orderly. Mr. President, I now afford you the opportunity to address the House.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Chief Justice, leaders of all political parties represented here in our National Assembly. Madam Speaker, I wish to congratulate you and the Deputy Speaker for being elected to your positions of leadership to lead this National Assembly in its work. I am humbled and honored that you, as members of the National Assembly, have, through your votes tonight, decided to elect me to be the President of the Republic of South Africa. Thank you very much. It is with pleasure that I accept It will once again be a privilege and a pleasure to serve this great nation in the position of President. I accept this as a big responsibility, and I wish to thank all leaders for your congratulatory messages delivered here at this podium. Your messages are a clear clarion call for working together. Your messages constitute what I see as a well of encouragement, of good advice, and of wisdom. I will, Madam Speaker, spend some time to read all these wonderful messages that were delivered at this podium, because they are great messages from which I want to draw insights. I do believe that there is much that I can learn and glean from these messages. So thank you very much for your kind messages to all of you. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the members of this august House who have voted for me, who through their vote have invested and placed their trust in me. I intend to work with all members and indeed to work together with even those who did not vote for me or who did not find their way clear to vote for me. And this is their democratic right. We are all South Africans, and I will serve all and work with even those who did not support me tonight. The significance of the votes that were made and effected during the day and tonight for the office bearers, that is the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and myself, is not so much in the result of the vote that was delivered, but it is the historic meaning of the vote and this moment that we find ourselves in that is truly significant. That a number of parties that had opposed each other, but that represent the majority of South African voters, have decided to work together to deliver this result, has given a new birth, a new era to our country. I do sincerely believe that this is an era of hope, and it's also an era of inclusivity. As diverse political parties, we competed against each other in the election that we just had. The election was highly contested. It was also divisive at times. When I spoke at the Independent Electoral Commission results announcement ceremony, I said the results of the election has made plain that the people of South Africa expect their leaders to work together to meet their needs. They expect the parties for which they voted for to find common ground and to overcome their differences, to act and to work together for the good of everyone in our country. The stark reality of the results of our past election is that no single party represented in this House achieved an outright majority to work alone, legislatively, and also at the executive level. Through their votes, our people expect all parties to work together within the framework of our Constitution and to work as political parties to achieve the objectives of a democratic society based on non-racialism, non-sexism, based on peace, justice, and to ensure stability, and also to tackle the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality, and to achieve prosperity for all. It is in this context that we as political parties that participated in the elections, that received the seats we now occupy, need to pledge to cooperate, to work together in two ways: as a voluntary parliament of national unity and through a voluntary government of national unity. A number of parties have come together to agree on a statement of intent to form a government of national unity. And this government of national unity will be constituted not by two, not by three, but by more parties that voluntarily want to participate. And so I wish to state very clearly, this is not a grand coalition of 2 or 3 parties. It is a government of national unity that we are constituting, and we've been here before. We were here in 1994 when we sought to unite our country and to effect reconciliation. We are here now, as directed by the votes that our people delivered, to work together to ensure that we address the challenges that they face. And this we shall do, and this is what I am committed to achieve as the President of the Republic of South Africa. Honorable members, this is a historic juncture in the life of our country, which requires that we must work and act together to entrench our constitutional democracy and the rule of law and build a South Africa for all its people. And it is with this in mind that I hereby declare that I accept the mission that you are giving me to work with you all to serve the people of our beautiful country. I would like to extend my deep gratitude to the Chief Justice for steering these proceedings of the first sitting with great ability, patience, and excellent leadership. Thank you very much, Chief Justice, for what you have done. I'd like to thank the members of this august House for the decorum that was demonstrated here today. And I also want to thank members of this House for the promises that have been articulated here today, that the intention of all parties is that we work together and work together with good decorum, which prevailed today. And I so wish that that continues. In the end, I wish to thank you all and wish you a good night following a hard day's job for giving effect to the will of our people. It hasn't been very often that we work from 10 a.m. until 12 midnight. So thank you very much. I thank you for all of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.